Two of the three most widely used behavior assessment systems today trace their origins to a theory proposed over 2,400 years ago by the Greek physician Hippocrates. He suggested that human nature was shaped by four bodily fluids, or humors, which determine temperament and behavior. In 1921, Carl Jung transformed this ancient medical idea into a psychological framework. His work emerged during the same era that produced the Ford Model T vacuum tube radios and the first generation of commercial aviation. These were extraordinary achievements for their time. They moved humanity forward, they served society well. But no one today would cross the Atlantic in a 1920s aircraft, rely on a vacuum tube radio for global communication, or drive a Model T as their primary vehicle. Technology evolved because knowledge evolved. Behavior assessment should be no different. An objective understanding of human behavior must begin with a clear identification of the inner forces that drive it. Any system that does not first define those forces cannot fully measure them. Meet Your Mind begins from a different foundation. The human mind is not governed by intellect alone. It is bipolar in nature, composed of instinct and intellect. Each of these is divided into distinct components, forming a system of 20 measurable mental forces. Each force has its own function, direction, and influence on behavior. Rather than assigning people to one of 4, 5, or 16 broad personality categories, as systems such as the Myers-Briggs type indicator, DISC assessment, or Big Five personality traits do. Meet Your Mind measures the comparative intensity of all 20 forces within each individual. Using factorial mathematics, these 20 interacting forces can be arranged in more than 2.4 quintillion possible configurations, offering a numerical glimpse into the extraordinary complexity of the human mind. That is not 4 types, not 5 traits, and not 16 categories. It is a level of individuality comparable to a fingerprint. Every report generated by Meet Your Mind reflects a configuration that belongs to one person alone. Human beings are widely celebrated for their intellect. Yet behavior is driven more powerfully by instinct. While intellect has been extensively studied across philosophy and psychology, instinct has remained comparatively under-examined, despite its dominant influence on conduct. Understanding this bipolar structure changes everything. When an assessment is built on 4 or 5 variables, vast regions of human motivation remain invisible. But when aggression, tribalism, curiosity, sexual drive, dominance, greed, moral reasoning, utilitarian reasoning, and other core forces are measured as structured components of a unified system, behavior becomes interpretable with far greater precision. Just as engineering evolved beyond the Ford Model T and vacuum tubes, behavioral science must evolve beyond early typology. Progress is not a rejection of the past, it is refinement through deeper understanding. Meet Your Mind represents that next stage of refinement.